question, and I've got an incredible guest. I was introduced to this gentleman. I've seen him from time to time, and then I talked to somebody, told me about history. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to talk to this guy. I'm going to try and get out his name properly from the get-go here, and then from then on, we're going to give him his nickname, okay? But right now, I've got a special guest on, and his name is, hopefully I can say it properly. Gosh, help me out here, man. Commissarapara. Say the name, buddy.
Commissaro. Last name Commissaro.
And your first name?
Vladislav.
And we're going to call you from now on 007. And you're going to explain to us why it's 007.
Easy to read.
Okay. Now here's the deal, everybody. This gentleman here has an incredible history. And I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just say, hey, tell me about this. Tell me about that. Your history is so incredible. I'll just say it in a nutshell. We had a top Soviet lieutenant pilot, MiG pilot, right? Who felt the necessity to defect and come to this country. And we're going to find out who he is, what the lifestyle was back in that country, and what caused him to come up to the conclusion that it was necessary for him to leave. And he's going to tell us what he did as a pilot, what got him in the position to come to us, and all the stuff in between. So, 007, talk to us. Your year, why? Give us a background of who you are and what it took to get here and what you did.
1965, I was decided to escape from the Soviet Union for one simple reason. 1964 Tokyo Olympics, I was qualified to go to the Olympics. Last moment, Soviet government told me that you cannot go because they have information. I want escape from delegation in Japan, and I was kind of shocked, and I asked them, what's giving you idea that I'm planning to escape? They say, it don't make a difference as long as we know that we have a plan to escape. I say, okay, then I cannot go on Tokyo Olympic Games, then what happened if I escape from now from Soviet Union?
Well, let me ask you, did you actually have a plan to do that? Was that your intent?
No, that's not true. It's somebody I found later on from Ukrainian team, a man who was not qualified for Olympics because his coach is very important for Soviet Olympic team. He wants to promote his peak athlete, if you can call this sport, to go to Olympics. And he only was 9th in a nation.
Sounds like coaches met there trying to get rid of the competition.
Yes. And they made a story about me that I am talking about that I do want to escape. Naturally, KGB don't take any chances. They prefer to believe that it's true that I was planning this, which was ridiculous. I was traveling all over the world for many years, and I don't escape. Some may have idea that I will escape, especially if I escape from Japan. I don't have to stay there.
Well, wait, I got to ask you that. If you have no intent to escape, if they caught you, is it because you weren't able to go anymore?
Good afternoon.
Was it
We're looking to get from this one.
or is it a combination of
Well, we're not looking to move that, but one of our partners, he does all the custom engraving.
Oh,
So it's actually his property. We're just showing it off from.
I see.
But really unique.
Just to protect themselves, they want me to
Great
stay
guy. We
in
spoke to
country, not
him on the
go
air
to
many
the
times.
And I was getting mad, and I told them, I say, all right, you think I'm planning escape from the team?
Sad, that's the only thing I've seen
that I will not escape here from Russia.
Yeah.
I'll tell them. They said, it's impossible.
Not for the engraving, but just didn't have to engraving. Didn't have to have engraving on it.
I don't believe this. I won't wait for the office of KGB, and I was very mad and start prepared, really prepared to start planning to escape from Soviet not interesting for me to live anymore in this country.
Because they restrained you from being able to compete.
No, compete as long as I stay in Russia, but I cannot go anymore to foreign countries. All right, and I tell them I will be the first one. And what happened, I started search because my father was in the KGB, general KGB, and he had so much information about everything. And I was asking his friends, not my father, because he wasn't very cooperative with me. I don't want to get suspicious that I'm planning to escape. I was talk to his friends and ask them kind of questions, kind of curiosity, for curious. I asked many, many different questions. I said, anybody escaped from Soviet Union? Not going outside country. They say, yeah, it was happening from 1956 until 1965. Was 9 people, 11 people was tried to escape, and all of them was caught during swim. They was planning to swim from Russia to Turkey, from a city called Batum City, Georgia country now. And it's only one place you can swim without being freezing. Under the Baltic Sea, cold, part of Russia itself, cold, and only in the Black Sea you can swim. Anyway, and asking so many questions, I was learned that I can do that because I'm a professional swimmer. I can swim 18 miles, about 25 kilometers.
Not only that, we'll just start there, but not only that, swimming, boxing, fencing, shooting, professional literature, big pilot. What else do you do, buddy?
Oh, I've been competing in many sports, but my main sport, modern contact, which is horseback jumping, barriers, fencing, hiking, shooting pistol, turning targets, swimming, 300 meters in my time, now it's short, and running 3.5 miles, which is 4 kilometers, and that was my main sport. That was peak for compete characters and so.
So here you are, this fantastic swimmer. Give me an idea of what it takes to swim in Texas. How far, how rough, how hard, what patrol boats you're looking for the whole way through.
Swim, you have to swim only in nighttime. If you swim in the daytime, you will be cut right away because you're not allowed to swim farther than 50 meters away, about 55 yards from shore. The moment you swim, you immediately approached by patrol board, and they will pick you up, and which was happening with me. I was betting with my friends on the beach that I can swim all the way to the buoy and come back without any trouble, which is about 500 meters. And they say, no way, you will be cut. I say, well, I feel I can swim this 500 meters before the they can come and pick me up. They say, okay, it's bet. We have 3 buckles, 20 yards. And I jumped in the water, they took time, and I took off, and I was swim so fast for 500 meters, for it's about 1/3 of a mile, to the buoy and come back. I get to the buoy and turn around and come back, and I still wasn't caught. Then I already was close to the shore. The patrol boat picked me up, and they took me and tried to give me 15 days in jail. I'm not allowed to
use it.
I convinced them I'm a member of the Russian Olympic team, that I'm doing this for training. They check about me, they know I'm a lieutenant, military in the Soviet military, member of the Army Club, and I wasn't planning to escape anything. And they say, all right, we'll let you go. And they did mistake because after a few days I did swim, but you have to swim in nighttime, and daytime it's impossible. And you have to swim all the storm, minimum 4 points storm, lots of noise, because you can be caught very quick and very easy if you swim in quiet nights. The Soviets using miniature submarines. They are spread all over in the border area, spread all over sea, close to the border, and they're using sonars. And when you swim and you're breathing, showing on the scale of equipment, electronic equipment, they will count it up, and that's how it was happening from 1956 until 1965 when I did swim. It was 11 people swim, all 11 people were stuck. They all did mistakes. They swim at nighttime when it was very quiet, very moon night, and very comfortable swim, but they did mistakes because submarines, small submarines.
They always told us in the military that we want to live in a swamp where nobody else wants to go.
Yeah.
That's the same concept. Swim when nobody else wants to swim. That's good. So how far of a swim was it?
It's I swim. It's 28 kilometers, so it's about 15 miles, and the water is 67 degrees, which first 4 hours you're shaking like crazy. It's so uncomfortable. But I took chance because I have two people who was helping me. They're very young, the youngsters who came with me on the beach, and they put a fly on me, 3 lanes of good street. And that's how I protect myself from completely going. And I succeeded. And after that, Soviets was found to the information on the writer of Free Europe, Voice of America, everything about me, that I'm already on another side.
Extremely upsetting.
Yeah, they get so. I found that many years after, over 200 military border people was border patrol people was fired because they missed my escapade. And that's how I succeeded.
And now you're here. When you got here, tell us about these numbers. It's hard for me to explain, but you can explain how certain Soviets would have certain numbers for certain years, or we were logged in as certain numbers. You had a number that kind of matched different cars. You look at a problem. Tell us about that.
You talk about well, when
The 007 number, how that is registered.
Yeah. When I came to the United States, I was immediately being reported by the U.S. intelligence that Soviets sent death squad who was supposed to be assassinated in this country. And because this type people, they don't need it get visa anything, because they can't agree without visa anything they want. But two people who's a member of that squad, U.S. intelligence know about them very, very well. And immediately the U.S. government moved me from New York area to, for some reason, Texas, and I was there for several years.
They're 80.
After 2 years, this death squad was sent back, and I was told that I can now walk around without go anywhere for the big cities because Russians still try.
I wanted to ask you that. Did you ever evacuate wonder?
No,
Why would they leave you alone? It's just like a lot.
no, because it was a big. I'm first one and last one who did this escape from Soviet Union outside the country, and that was a big slap in the face of the Russian intelligence. So that's why they was trying no matter what to try find me.
Okay, but what made them stop to do that?
They stopped. They never stopped. They make court-martial in a military club. They put stage, invite over 2,000 old army professional athletes, and they put chair on a stage, pretend I'm sitting on this chair, and court-martial, which is the 3 military people, and there was crucify me, prosecute me, and they give me 8 years in jail. And I was sitting in Texas in a great little bit whiskey, and they was prosecuting me in Russia on the empty stage, on an empty chair, and it was a big joke.
Okay, so you served a term, so that's why they're not coming after you. But
No, because the Soviets told Russian athletes who come to this country on the international journeys, they tell them, do not associate with Commissarov, do not talk to you, do not ask any questions. And after 1991, when the Soviet Union dissolved and turned to democracy, which is a big fake story, and automatically they teach me not interesting about my life, because they already was so many years past that they don't succeed, and they, the least they talk about, the least they notice to the Russian people about me, it's make them.
I'm curious about this person. I was in Germany, West Berlin, the Soviets, the whole world, blah, blah, blah. What's the propaganda that the Soviet Union tells their officers and groups about the West? Is it, are they getting pumped up to hate us and like they trying to say that you're the threat too? I mean, what's going on?
The conflict was based on one simple point, because between the U.S. and Soviet Union agreement was that the Soviet military will move out from eastern blocks, go back to the Russian territory, and American was promised that they will move from the western part of the country, like Germany and almost eastern blocks, and they will move out to the east. But because Soviets moved out and Americans had just moved in Russian territory and took all military bases, occupied them, and this was a big upset for the Soviet Union, and that's when they started propaganda work very hard at the U.S., working very hard to try to take Russia.
Okay, so you get here, you're all squared away. We were talking about the numbers, the 007 number.
007, I received very simple thing. In a military base where I stayed for some years, I was there, American intelligence. They was proceed to get for me the identification, everything, and the first one I was supposed to be received Social Security. When we get Social Security, it's card, we don't have in Russia this type registration. And the American intelligence was teasing me to come back to France. They said, well, no matter how much we was testing you and checking you before bringing to this country, which was almost 1 year. But they still think you are a Russian spy. I said, well, why do you say this? Well, they even give you code number. I said, what code number? They say, looking for Social Security. I looked on Social Security, bunch of numbers. I said, what's so special in this case? They say, you see the last 3 numbers? Look. Yeah, 007. Movie from Russia with Lapuchan Thunder was very popular. Everybody knows what it is. I say, why do you get these 3 numbers? They say it's automatically keep on the people moving out and come back to the country if they are trying to travel over that. That's
So that was just a bad luck of the draw.
yeah. No, they didn't purposely keep high. But from that point, every time I travel all over the United States to the military bases, doing lectures, different type of things, what U.S. And they ask, they always call me 007.
Well, it's a heck of a lot easier. I'll tell you.
Because they say your real name is too hard to remember and to pronounce. And everybody, they give me this automatic nickname 007 commercial club. That's how I get.
Well, then let me ask you this. What are you doing now? You're here at the gun show. You got a
I'm
food set up.
retired. I'm 77 years old.
He doesn't look 77.
I'm now completely retired, but periodically I still usually put a shelf in the U.S. and maybe some advice.
You're here at the Premier Gun Show. You got a nice table set up, a few tables set up. What kind of things do you have on your table? So if you want to come say hi, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Gun Show, Extraco Event Center, Waco. You need to come out here and check out 007. Awesome, great, good stuff. Tell us what's on your table.
Oh, they sell electric wires. Try to stay away from guns and all this type of things. I have Russian jewelry, Russian icons, Russian souvenirs. Just, a little bit for entertainment.
Just to kill some time.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you want to tell everybody? Because you got this portfolio here of all these different news clips, photos. I was checking you out, and I'm just like, man, look at this guy. Looking at your pictures here, fantastic. What are you showing me? Pentathlete, that's right. And that's that was where? San Antonio?
Yeah. Here I'm towards Norwich University Summer School.
There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is great, but I'm looking at, here's a picture of him diving into the pool. There's another one here where he's shooting.
That was in the Wire article about
And the stance is perfect when it comes to that type of shooting. Fencing, he's doing the lunge here. Here he is in his running outfit.
yeah.
Horseback riding. Man, jack of all trades. You're almost like, I don't know if this is offensive to you, but you know, he's always riding on his horse, looking strong and mighty at his age. Give me that impression. This guy is 77 years old, will knock you out, man. Let's see what else you got here.
I was coaching Willamette University in Oregon State. I met from several American students. In 1 year, they never fenced before anything. I made in 1 year the state champion between college universities. And this usually take 10-15 years preparation to make good fencing. I give them in 1 year I made them state champion.
You still coach people?
No, try to stay away from too much.
Chill out, right? Okay, beautiful shots, man. I did this one because I just loved how it looked. Great shape. Looks, and it's awesome. Everybody, you need to check it out. Come on out to the Premier Gun Show here in Waco and check out 007. Straight from the Soviet bloc, MiG pilot. How was that? How was that?
Well, my main job was to compete the Soviet Union in sport, training for the Soviet flight. But my training was minimum because I don't get much time. Just a few hours flight preparation. I even fly in this country, private Cessna, my own one. Instructor took me for on a plane, take me out to train me. He was asking me, well, you do this and you do that. I said, okay, no problem. I took out and I started doing this robotics. Notes everything. He said, just one. If you didn't fly before, I say, you make me fly. Okay, take me back, and I'm forget it, and I'm sitting in office, you go fly by yourself.
You teach, why don't you teach me, not me teach you?
For 20 hours, I was supposed to be flying with instructor. I only flew in a half hour, and they never go in a plane. They say, you know more than we. And that's how I was. But I never finished course because the price was so high.
How fast did you go?
The MiG 21 was going up to 1,200 miles an hour. But I was start flying a MiG 17 for training and MiG 21 for reporting.
Great. Very excited to speak. It's been more nice than we do the gun shows together. Good to see you. The relationship is really great. So, ladies and gentlemen, come on out to the Premier Gun Show. Come say hello to 007. I think if you're going to come, I think if you come to the doors, you turn left and go through one of the hallways, you'll see it along the wall. Just ask, where's 007? I'm sure someone will be able to.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Thank you again very much. Very fascinating history. I'm glad to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 007. Check him out. If you want to hear this again, go to, we'll be having it posted in a couple hours. You can re-listen to it. We need this in a YouTube. I want this cut as a YouTube, okay? You can check it out. Video of the Aaron's Gun Shop YouTube channel. Watch it step by step and see what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just have a few minutes left. I'm going to finish up the show. We're going to call it short here. Trey, if you just want to play a few commercials for me, play it out, fade out to some music, we're going to end it here. I mean, you can't top this. So we're just going to say bye to you, and I'll see you on the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Premier Gun Show, the Extraco Center in Waco. Come on out, check it out. Come and say hello to people at the Aaron's High Cap Adventure table. Go ahead and check out 007. We'll see you on the other side. Carry on. So thank you very much.
All right, man. Cool. See you next week. All right, bye.
That was awesome.
You got to 12:25, and I got to get back to town.
You want to kill this? Alright, I'm going to go back about 12:25. Thank you.